being interviewed for More with Dara. And I'm reading now that Anne and Julie are going back and forth, and Julie posted a question, and she was wondering, she posted a question on Herbie's Sparkle, asking what is his routine. She hasn't heard anything back, so I thought I would videotape you.
My routine?
She said the question didn't post. Okay, anyway, what is your routine, Herbie?
All right. Normally, I go to bed at approximately 12 midnight, give or take. And I have to have 8 hours sleep. But sometimes I get up like 5 or 6 o'clock here because it's 8 or 9 o'clock in the East Coast. I have certain things I have to get an answer in very early in the morning but then I go back to bed. Once I'm up, whatever it's 8:30 or 9:30, whatever it is, then I do about 20 minutes of exercises to warm up my body and creak and do.
Are you in
crunch.
bed still, or you get out of bed?
No, I get out of bed, but one of the exercises, I'm laying in bed on my back for 5 minutes and having my knees on my chest and keeping me there for at least 5 minutes. It's all part of building up the flexibility, which my trainers are working hard at, my masseuse and the yoga teacher, Denise. And so that gets me going. And then depending on which day it is, I pretty much have different activities, whether it be with the physical trainer, who I'm spending an hour a day, 2 different days. I got a wonderful instructor, that's True Archdale, who we love each other, and I always complain to her that it goes too fast.
Your attitude is fantastic, because most people can't wait to get out of their training session. So what is your food intake?
Oh, the food intake?
Yeah, like
well, in the morning, I make oatmeal, and then I usually cut in banana, blueberries, if I have strawberries, put a little honey in, and a little almond milk unsweetened. And then, of course, I take the romaine lettuce, 2 of them at a time, and clean them.
During the day?
No, at breakfast too.
Oh.
And clean them and then crunch them and wring the water out, and then I chew on them.
Don't wring the water out. Eat the water.
Yeah, they have dirt in it sometimes.
Wring the water from washing them.
Yes.
I see. Okay, that's a good idea.
And then, depending if I'm still hungry, there's some walnuts I can grab. There's a little figs I can grab.
This is in the morning?
Yes, in the morning.
Wow, so you're eating good. Okay.
Yeah, no, and my weight has been very stabilized. And the
next meal?
My lunch meal is have 2 or 3 fruits. Cut up an apple. I take another handful or 2 of blueberries. I then take a couple of dates, and depending. Also, right now I take medicine after the breakfast for the get rid of the lead that Dr. Seghetti found, and that'll end probably the end of this week. I had to do 90 days, and you want me to mention?
Yeah,
huh?
Go ahead.
And part of the of that protocol was that I had to have a B12 shot, and I found the best nurse in the world, and of course it goes in my left buttock, and Dara, 99% of the time, would take care of that during the day at her convenience. And even once she gave a B12 shot to someone who she... so
was Dan McDonald.
Right.
He wanted one too. Who wouldn't want some extra B12?
Right.
So, yeah, I think that's adding to your energy.
Right. And...
you seem to eat a lot of citrus, yeah?
Yeah, and orange, well, I always love to have an orange. And once in a while, I cut up a grapefruit as well. And then in the evening, it depends. I mean, when I'm very fortunate, Dara happens to be cooking. I mean, she's the best chef in town. And but most of the time, I'm putting together my own. I start a dinner in terms of having pepper with tahini and onion, and making that like a sandwich. And then I have some more, usually 4 leaves of the romaine lettuce. I love to slice up tomato and add the Himalayan pink salt. I also slice up some cucumber. And then, of course, when the meal is finished, I have half a lemon. But I'm trying to think now. I caught me off guard.
No, that's okay. You're doing so awesome. There is not a thing. I mean, I'm sure there's always things I forget.
And then, of course, I either had from the Moon Juice or the or Whole Foods that I have. They do organic of kale, spinach, parsley, and cucumber, at least. And so that's my greenies, and
Greenies. You call them greenies. It's so cute.
And I get it in a 32-ounce container, and I usually finish that in a day or day plus.
Wow.
And at night, I maybe nibble on some raisins and walnuts, or.
But after you have the little portobello and red pepper things, sometimes you get food from Cafe Gratitude to
Yes,
supplement.
that depending on the temperature, I'd like to get their soup. I get a double order of quinoa, or else if I once in a while I don't know what the plates do for me, but I tell them I want something that gives me a lot of energy, or I want something to do X or Y, and so
They help you.
they're very helpful.
But tonight's dinner was good. Tonight's dinner.
Oh, well, it isn't. You know, it's at the top of the list. You know, and the company is so terrific, and you know, how can you beat that? I mean, I don't care how much person can pay for a meal at the finest restaurant. They couldn't enjoy what I was eating as well as the company of my beautiful angel daughter. And
Thank you, Kirby.
I hope that answered most of what you're looking
Julie's
at.
question.
And then.
How do you get your sparkle? I mean, that's really the question. You know, what's your routine that gives you your sparkle? And
Well, I think an awful lot of it has to go all the way back. God bless my parents, who I thank every evening before I go to bed for having me as a child. That my parents, through love, created. I feel I was the baby of 3 children, and I always felt loved. And my mother, God bless her, OBM, of blessed memory, OBM. My mother didn't have much of a formal education. She came to this country when she was 17 from Poland, and she once she met my dad and they married. When she had children, and my brother was 2.5 years older than me, and my sister was 5 years older than me, and I never had an argument with any of my siblings, and I learned how to play by myself or play with other people. And even as I was growing up, like my dad belonged, he was an immigrant also from Russia, but they had a card group. And when I was growing up, as long as I didn't say anything, I could watch it sit at the table, and and it just was a kind of great environment. But getting back to my mom, she when I got old enough that she felt I could, she made me have an apple a day, and also very rare did we get fried foods. Had a lot of vegetables, had a lot of salads, so. I think Dara likes to say I was a born organic vegan person almost.
You were a born raw foodist. You
Well,
were born to do this.
well,
I'm going to
but-
show you guys his refrigerator tomorrow. It's gorgeous.
And I was very fortunate. Like most people, though, I had peaks and valleys in my life to be a witness to the burial of 2 wonderful women who, my wives. Dottie, who passed away in 1971, was the mother of our 3 children, and Bev, who I met and married in '77, who passed away this past summer. of blessed memory, OBM, and I had two wonderful women in my life, and a lot of people can't even say they had one, but I miss them, and yet I have a little thing that my own little craziness maybe, that I don't know how many of you read the book called Tuesday with Morrie. Well, there's a scene in the Tuesday with Morrie that Mitch Albom, the author, is visiting Mitch and Mitch visiting the professor, and whose health is failing, and maybe he has a very, very short time left on his journey, and Mitch is just about crying, and the professor calms him down, and he says, Mitch, he says, you know that when my journey ends, where I'm going to be buried up there on the hill under that tree, you'll come up to that tree. And the professor tells him, Mitch, you talk. And the professor says, I'll listen. And what I got from that, which was very touching and moving to me, is that I just about almost every night, I call a little meeting of my dearly departed family, my dad, my mother, my son, Bobby, my brother and my sister, and my two beautiful wives. And I tell them, and I said, listen, which I tell them what some of the things that happened during the day, and I can go to bed with a smile, and I sleep well, and and life is beautiful, and I can't see how I could even be happier. I mean, and to end up here in California after the East Coast is having a horrible, as well as the Midwest, a horrible winter. And I usually work in, if the sun is out, which is 90% of the time, a 15 to 20 minute sun bath to get my vitamin D. And I can't stay in the sun too long because I'm fair-skinned. And then that I was fortunate enough at the expo that I bought a sauna, a two-person infrared sauna that Dara and I just love using. And in fact, when my masseuse Laszlo came Saturday, I had prepared him. I told him to bring some clothes and some towels, and we take a sauna together. Then we take separate showers, and then he can do my massage as well. He did a 2-hour massage, which was just super.
He cries with joy every time he sees you. I see the tears in his eyes. That's how much he loves you.
He grows every time I'm with him. I mean, I originally, I had respect, but I nowhere's near the respect and love I have for him now, because his knowledge and sensitivity and his love for me, as well as the people I meet, because he has a part-time job that I visit him. He's at the farmer's market on Sunday on Main Street in Santa Monica, and whether it's for 5 minutes or 15 minutes, as soon as he sees me, he brightens up, and I responds brighten up to his brightness. And he's just a wonderful, wonderful person to be part of my team, and I'm fortunate. And if you have any other questions, I'll try and answer them, but in a shorter version.
No, the more than, I think they're happy to hear you. The longer the better.
Okay.
Well, normally
I used to do not much public speaking, but one of the keys they taught me is try and stand on one foot, and then when the other foot goes down, that's when you end.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, we're happy to hear you, Herbie.
Yeah, but I send out my love to all of you, and I just hope that my happiness could cause you to have happiness with love.
It does. It really does. Well, this was going to be for just more with Dara, but it was so good. I think I'm going to have to post it on YouTube. I think people can benefit from your sparkliness. So thanks, Julie, for the question. Thank you, Herbie, for so eloquently answering. I love you.
I love you, honey. Thank you.